everybody. So as some of you may know, Blake and I had our sweet baby boy Brooks this past March. So life has just been a little hectic, to say the least. In the midst of the chaos and the craziness, I feel like the good times and the sweet moments just outweigh the chaos and craziness that you don't even realize it's chaos and craziness. Yeah, this time has just been such a blessing, and we're so lucky to be his parents, and there's been good times and bad times and struggles of being young parents. We are in the process of moving. As you can see, I'm in a vacant room right now. So that's been a little stressful, but it's nice to be able to just sit down and kind of unload and talk to you guys about the good moments of being a parent and the not so good moments and the struggles that I've been going through, because social media can portray such an image of only good and never bad, and so I feel like I feel obligated to just share and be there for other people who are going through parenthood, and also the things that I've learned, and that might be for another video later, but I just wanted to talk to you guys and say hi. So my whole pregnancy story was kind of a wash. It was beautiful, but it was a really tough pregnancy. I was sick most of the time, and I gained a lot of weight. Like, I'm talking a lot. So that's one thing that I'm struggling with now, is losing that weight and being persistent and working out and eating healthy, and because it's tough. It's really tough to stay motivated and to know that you're gonna get back and snap back, and especially when everybody's telling you you're gonna snap back so quick, and I haven't. I thought that being an athlete would help that part of it, but it hasn't at all. Yeah, throughout my pregnancy, I probably gained, I was 140 when I was pregnant, or before I got pregnant, and at the end of my pregnancy, I was 190 or 195. So you do the math. And so I was around 37 weeks, and my OB noticed that he was a large baby. He was gonna be a large baby. And she mentioned C-section, but I didn't really even think about it. I went in for a checkup and at 37 weeks, and he was around 8 pounds. And then at 30, I think it was 38 or 39 weeks, we went back in, and he was already up to 9.5. So, or no, she was guessing 9.5, but she said he's no less than 9. So she looked at me and she said, you're a young mom. I'm not questioning if you can do it or not, but would you be opposed to a C-section? And I said, well, if that's what you're instructing me to do, then I'm obviously gonna listen to your instruction. So I was just stuck in that decision making of what to do. And I remember we were sitting in the office, Blake was right next to me, and my OB, she was like, okay, so you want to schedule it for Monday? And in my mind, I was thinking, oh, she's gonna schedule another appointment so we can talk about it a little bit more. We walk out of the office, and Blake looks at me and goes, you know what she just said, right? And I was like, yeah, we're gonna come back in the office on Monday. And he goes, no, you're going in for a C-section on Monday. And I just broke down. I felt like I was settling for less, and that I was a failure, and I was really trying hard to listen to the people around me and also respect my OB's opinion and what she thought I should do. I remember walking out of the office and I was crying, and Blake did such a good job at settling me down. He said, I think you will make the right decision at the end of the day. I felt like I had a lot of people around me encouraging me in making a decision for myself, because when it comes to decisions like that, it's not like everybody knows what the outcome is gonna be, and everybody just kept saying, go with your gut. You're gonna make the best decision for yourself. So after a lot of praying and a lot of thought, I came to the conclusion that I was gonna do the C-section. We scheduled it for that Monday. We got to the hospital at 7:30. I got all dressed up. I got my IV. We hung out for a little bit, and literally we were in the OR. Blake and I were in the OR at 9 o'clock, and we were out of there by 9:30. When I'm stressed, I like to clean. So the night before, I was in our apartment cleaning up, and I'm not talking about just spiffying up, deep cleaning the house up until like 4:30 in the morning. So I was really, really nervous. I had never been under the knife before, so that was one factor. I don't even think I've ever been in a hospital before. And so there's just a lot going through my head that could have gone wrong, and the excitement of it all. When I got in the OR, I remember just feeling so tired, and Blake was looking at me like, oh, you're so drugged, like it's from the drugs. I'm like, I don't think it is. And I asked my OB, I was like, is this from the drugs? She goes, no, you shouldn't be feeling that tired. And I was like, oh, it's probably from the 2 hours I got to sleep. Most tough part was the spinal tap. When they gave me the epidural, that was the worst part and the most painful part. And I don't do pain well. I got the spinal tap, it kicked in, couldn't feel a thing. It literally felt like someone was massaging me. Like, it just felt like a lot of pressure, like someone was pulling my arm or something, which I just thought was amazing. Today's medicine is just unreal. So we got into the OR at 9 o'clock. I got my spinal tap, and about 10 minutes later they got started, and Blake was right by my side through the whole thing. He had his camera, so he's all ready to shoot them bringing Brooks out of my belly. They pulled him out. He ended up being 9 pounds 4 ounces, and 22 inches long. So he was a pretty big baby. I mean, I remember seeing him, I was like, I could have pushed him out, like I could have done it. But his head was in the 90th percentile, over 90th percentile. He came out, he was screaming, and he was purple, and I didn't get to hold him right away, unfortunately, which I was kind of upset about. But Blake got the photos, and we were literally, they cleaned up, they stitched me up. We were out of there by 9:30. So it was like a 30-minute process. I went back into our room. I decided to breastfeed. And I heard a lot of people saying it's so tough, it hurts so bad, and you shouldn't do it. And it's very inconvenient. I mean, to some, especially my age, girls who are in their 20s and want to drink, but I felt like it was the best thing for me and him. And what was nice about our nurses is they were all very knowledgeable in lactation, so my nurses were all helping me get him in the right position to breastfeed for the first time, and he did great. I mean, I was fine, he was fine, and then they moved us into an overnight room, and that process I miss so much. I miss the hospital, and that sounds crazy, but I really do miss having the nurses there and just the help that they gave. They had a TV right in front of me that I can order my breakfast and my lunch and dinner ahead. So if I scheduled it for 7 o'clock, they would have my breakfast knocking at the door every morning. My doctor gave me the okay to start walking the halls that night, and my legs were still pretty numb, so I didn't really I had to have help, have my nurse help me walk. But that was one thing that I truly do believe that helped with my recovery more than anything. I got to shower and clean up the next day, or the next morning. I got my IV out. One thing that I would definitely encourage if you are having a C-section is don't feel like Superwoman and deny the pain medicine that they offer, because if it wasn't for that, then I definitely would have been a mess. I definitely would have struggled with my recovery, and I was on my pain medication probably for about 10 days, and after that I was only on Advil, and that was an extra like 10 days.